As part of our recent hands-on with Blades of Fire, we had a chance to speak to CEO and founder of Mercury Games, Enric Alvarez, in front of a crackling log fire inside a kooky ancient cottage. Here's that interview, we hope you enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe.
It comes from two sources. On one hand, the medieval fantasy setting is something we are comfortable with, we love it. The founders of the studio, we started our careers working in a very old game, Blade of Darkness, which shared with Blades of Fire a few things. And we simply love to be in this kind of world. And third-person action adventure settings and adventures. So this is this on one hand. On the other hand, one day we came up with the idea of, okay, what would happen if in a fantasy, in a sword and sorcery fantasy world, somehow there's a spell that turns steel into stone. And that simple thought, that the steel turning into stone, had us talking about it for quite some time. It was, oh wow, it would be interesting to see, to put a hero in that position. It's like, all right, do you have a problem as a hero? Because there's no tools to kill the queen, which is who casted the spell in the first place. So we need a forge. And that idea grew into our minds as something that maybe hasn't been seen before the way we did it, and something that it might be worth developing and offering to the people, because it was quite a simple idea to it's quite clear, right? I mean, there's no weapons unless you forge them. Then the forge itself was a totally different thing. It was a very long and complex process in order to make sure that each and every decision made in the forge impact the combat, but not in a way that doesn't give you freedom enough to decide what weapon you want to use, So I think that we were very excited about the prospect, and then we shared this idea with chaps 505, and they found that, okay, yeah, let's go for it. And I think that this is how it all started. Well, first of all, the game we started our careers many years ago was Blade of Darkness for Rebel Act Studios. We met the founders of MercurySteam. We met at that era, and I think that is unavoidable to think that game has a strong influence on Blades of Fire. Castlevania Lost Shadow, no doubt about it. Especially from a staging perspective.
Yeah.
The care we like to put in the fantasy setting. I think that if we are developing a single player game, we are obliged to offer a setting that sucks you into it, that immerses you into it. So for us, this has all to do with a rich world, a dense world full of detail, full of little animals going here and there, breakable that everywhere. So we like that our games. We see our games as a sequence of paintings. Let's put it this way. In Castlevania Lost Shadow, that was pretty obvious, because with the fixed camera we could focus on just what you're saying. In this game it's a bit more difficult, but of course 15 years later, so the hardware and everything is way more capable to show you a lush environment in a 3D game where you can turn the camera in every direction, etc. So yeah, for certain Castlevania Lost Shadow had its influence. And then we also liked a lot the Souls games. It is not a Souls-like, but it has a few elements of it, like the ambles you found, and then that allow you to save the game and save your progress and go to the forge and travel, etc. So I think that maybe these are the three, main influences. We decided from the very beginning that we wanted to come to UK for the motion capture, and that we wanted the same actors performing the scenes are going to be the ones who talk in the scenes. So I like what you said about how natural their voices sound. You know why? Because those voices are the voices we captured during the motion capture sessions. Is not ADR later on, which I'm not against it, but you never get the same texture, you never get the same quality than the actor that it's been, for example, for 2 hours rehearsing the same scene, and finally we got it right.
Because they've got a motivation behind what they're saying.
Yes, exactly. And I have to say also they are very good actors, very competent people. I mean, we had a great time filming here in UK. And a lot of fun with them. So, I mean, I'm very sorry. I touched my heart. I was going to touch my heart because I think that we became friends during this process, and they fully understood what we wanted. What we wanted from the beginning is, you are not a hero. You're a common person. You're a youngster. You're a not an old man, but I mean you're an adult that went through this and this. So I don't want you to sound like a hero all the time. I want you to sound natural. I want you to sound believable. You know what I mean? So I think that this comes across
vulnerable as well. Yeah.
Yes, vulnerable. Exactly. Because this is a task that the hero is tackling on is impossible. It's absolutely impossible. But and we wanted this was obvious through the discussions and the conversations through them, and to many other characters, because you can't imagine the amount of interesting characters you're going to meet during your adventure, and we are very proud of how to put it, the kind of a mini adventures you're going to live in every setting, with very, very special characters that I can't wait for the people to get their hands on them. So yeah, voice acting is for us is primarily important, because this is a narrative-driven game, and the quality we achieve with this project, with this product, is because we got everything in one go: the motion capture and the voices, and that is crucial to get the right vibe. I think not many feature films are that long. I think that if the game is around 60-70 hours long, the whole thing, so maybe we have here 3 hours cutscenes or more than that. I can't remember now, but that number.
Okay. And you spoke about the voice acting and how proud you are of that. What's the aspect of this project that you're most proud of, having come near to completion now?
How everything came together.
Yeah.
How, especially the forge, that was a very risky bet. The forge is a central pillar, but this is not a forge simulator. It's something that you're going to spend the time you want. I mean, you can go very quickly through the forge, or you can, if you like it, you can spend more time. But this is an action adventure first and foremost. It's not a forge simulator. So this one, for the first, this is the first point. The second point was incredibly tough to make that all your decisions in the forge translate into the combat. That was challenging and required a lot of prototypes until we got it. I think we got it right. This is a game where you can select the weapons you prefer, the 3 or 4 weapons you prefer, and go through the whole game with those weapons. You have to simply reforge them with the best steel you have, because the steels evolve. So the better the steel, the more you're interested in applying this steel to your favorite sword or claymore or hammer or whatever. That's a nice question. I have to admit, I haven't forged anything in my life.
Apart from all the weapons in the game.
Yes,
obviously,
apart from that. But I have a lot of respect for forging, because I think this is a human activity that has lasted for thousands of years, you know, and there's something, you know, incredible in that. Is magic. Is how you turn, you know, stones and into a delicate piece of metal. That is something that amazes me, and I think that maybe that's why we went into making this game, because it was it was a thought we had, and many times we discussed about maybe we could implement something like that in a game, but we didn't have the opportunity to do it, because in the latest years we've been doing all the kind of games, etc. So when we found a positive impression from 505 about this, because the Forge was central even in the beginning of the presentations we did for 505, it was there. So when we found that they said, okay, we must be onto something here, we were very happy, because it was like the realization of a dream. That then became a nightmare because it was very, very challenging, and many times we reached dead ends or apparent dead ends where we were like, okay, this is not going to work. It's going to be too complex, or too simplistic, or too time consuming, or too whatever, you know. But at the end, I think that we managed to get something that, as you said, I mean, the force memory, for example, that saves you a lot of time, unless you want more stars in your weapon. But that as soon as you get 3-4 stars, which is reasonable, you don't need to do it again. You can apply the new steels and use the force memory, and that's it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm a big fan of great swords. So possibly a claymore.
Okay.
Something like that. A Scottish, big thing.
Excellent. Well.
Only you can forge your legend.
What could you possibly say? You're here to kill me.